Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you like to hear someone talk about cats, rats, dogs, or reptiles, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I know you guys have seen me do like a salad prep video before. It's currently one of the only free moments I have to myself right now. So I figured I'd go ahead and jump on here and give you guys a little update video and then just go ahead and tell you guys what I'm throwing into the salads this week. So the salads are for my bearded dragon. I do have a new lizard who eats salad, but I am not going to show him on YouTube just yet. Him, her, it, they're just gonna remain a secret for now. They're a teeny tiny hatchling. It's actually my husband's pet. He won't care if I show him on here, but hatchlings make me nervous. So we're gonna wait a little bit. So this will be like teeny tiny baby salad. This will be the rest of the guys. And when I say the rest of the guys, my bearded dragon, my blue tongue skink will get a little pinch of this in addition to his dog food that he eats. My rats get to eat out of there sometimes, my dubia roaches, and I think that's all. I think that's all that gets the salad. So yeah, we're just gonna talk and hang out and update, and while I do that, I've already got collard greens cut up in here. Currently washed all of these, but getting some mustard greens cut up for in there as well. Figured I just needed to jump on here and update you guys on a few things. It's been a little while since I've posted a video. I was doing really good at posting 2 times a week, which is what I wanted to do for a while. That was actually during quarantine. I was able to get some videos stocked up, and then I ran out of videos, and then I went back to work full time. And now, now we've added a bunch of other things to the picture. So it's just taking me a little bit longer to get back to YouTube than I thought, which is such is life. That happens all the time, right? That's what we always hear people say. But it's true. Sometimes things just happen. And let me tell you, after being home for 2 months and then readjusting back to working full time, it is a little bit. It is a little bit. Just because you have to get used to your schedule and your routine again all over. When I was staying home during quarantine, it was super easy for me to stay on top of the house and have the free time and all of that stuff. And now my main priority is always making sure my family is taken care of first, my home is clean, obviously, and that my animals are taken care of. So right now, YouTube is just gonna have to wait a minute on me, okay? So I am going to try, and here before too long, hopefully, to be able to get back to at least once a week videos, but it might be about 6 months or so, maybe even longer before I'm able to do that. The new lizard, I do have a lot of content filmed for, and when we're ready to talk about that, I will bring that up and start uploading those or making them public or whatever it is I need to do to them. But for now, this is just the way it is, I guess. So I'm going back to work full time, or I have gone back to work full time. My husband and I decided to do something we've been dying to do for a little while now. We've worked really, really hard towards it, and we are building a house. So actually, that's the floor plan right behind me, but we're building a house currently. So in that just takes a lot of time. Even if it is just like mental time that it's taking, it's still a lot of time. It's still a distraction from producing 2 videos a week or even once a week right now currently. And in the and not only are we building that house, we're also getting this current house ready to sell because it is ours as well. So there is that. Also, it's actually kind of funny when we went to pick which floor plan we wanted. Like, one of our criterias was that we needed to make sure that we were still going to have a guest room and have room for all the animals. So the house we're building, it's actually a 3-bedroom, like this one is that we're in now. It's a 3-bedroom. So we're doing a 3-bedroom, but it has a study, and the study should be big enough for all of the animals and even like future upgrades and stuff like that. It also has a covered back porch, you know, which will be really great for if we decide to maybe screen it in or something one day, or just make a little screened area, like a little catio area for our reptiles who could benefit from being outside. You know, the Houston area is fantastic for those animals because it's usually really hot, really hot. And even the high humidity animals really benefit from it here because it's also really humid a lot of the time. Especially in the summertime, we're talking like 70 to 80% a lot of the time of humidity. So, you know, those are kind of the big things going on right now, I guess you would say. But yeah, they are big things and they're exciting things and they're all good things. So you can't be mad about the good things, right? Unfortunately, there are things that just kind of distract from this thing, the YouTube thing, for a little bit. But anyways, those are all of the major updates. I'm just back to work full time and we're building the house. So there's that. Okay, so in here, I've got, now we'll talk about the salad. And here, I've got the collard greens and mustard greens all mixed up together. And I think next I'm going to do this little half of squash that I have left over from a meal I cooked. A lot of times I do save, I cook with a lot of fresh vegetables and stuff. So if I think it'll last, I save it for them, especially bell peppers. I cook with a lot of bell peppers. So I save a lot of bell pepper scraps by feeding them to my animals. Let me tell you, a lot. So I am just going to cut the squash up into little bite-sized pieces and throw it in here and then check back in with you guys. Okay, so I've got the squash all diced up in here and then super diced up in here. One of the things that I believe is super important whenever it comes to making your lizard salads is considering exactly what all you really want to encourage them to eat them. So consider what all colors you have put in there already. So I know I've got butternut squash over here I'm going to use. I've got acorn squash. I used yellow squash. I might not use both those squashes. I might just use the butternut squash today because I've already got yellow squash in here. But I've already got yellow. I've already got green. So I'm going to do orange as well. So let's pick a couple of the red little sweet peppers to put in there. Red is a really good color when it comes to feeding reptiles. You honestly just cannot go wrong with red, like at all. It's so hard to go wrong with red, I guess. But this is a pretty good varied salad already. And that's what's important is you want a lot of variety in their diets. That, like I said, like variety to me is the most important thing to offer for your reptiles who, I mean, they all need to eat. I was going to say reptiles who need to eat. But variety is just like super important part of diet for animals kept in captivity, period. If you keep it the same every day, they just aren't going to care. They'll eat when they feel like eating. There's nothing to get excited for. Like, you're basically, you could possibly force them into a depression. I don't know. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever said. But, you know, animals have their own level of intelligence. And I just don't see keeping things the same every day as being, you know, beneficial or enriching. I don't know. Just don't see it being very exciting. There we go. I'll just say it like that. I just don't see it being very exciting. Anyways, so now that I'm done with that spiel, I'm going to finish chopping up these little sweet peppers to put in here. They're basically like mini bell peppers, right? And then I'll get back to show you guys how I'm not going to use the acorn squash, but I am going to use the buttercorn squash. So I'll be back to show you guys how I freeze this and then add it to their salads. You know, I was talking about how I save scraps. I just found this in the refrigerator. They're bell pepper scraps, so I'm actually going to throw in a little bit of orange bell pepper into their salads, and then we'll talk about the butternut squash. Okay, so this right here is their salads, and this is a salad. I've mixed it around, but there's squash still in here. Same salad, see? Anyways, so those, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a paper towel on them. I'm gonna put the lids on them. I'm gonna go move them into the refrigerator, into the pet room, and then it should last me, today's a Saturday, so it'll probably last me until Thursday or Friday before I've got to scrounge up some more stuff. When it comes to the butternut squash or the acorn squash, I chop it all up the first day I break into it, and then I will take out just whatever will dump from the top after me doing my thumbs like that out on the cutting board. I'll take that out and I will dice it up into small pieces. It's actually just as easy to cut up frozen than it is raw. And then this I actually put into a separate, like a really small mini container, because I find that it doesn't last as long as the other produce items do that I put into the salads. So this way I'm not wasting an entire batch of salad because something's gone bad in it. The yellow squash, the bell peppers, the sweet peppers, or mini peppers, whatever they are, the greens, those are solid. They hold out for me. But the butternut squash and the acorn squash, they can tend to get a little moldy. And I don't know if it's because I freeze them or what, but they just don't seem to last quite as long as the others do. So, like I said, I just go ahead and dice them up. They get to go in their own little container. It tends to last a few days and do pretty well like that. But that's really it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. Sorry this was super quickly just thrown together last minute, but that's how it be these days.